My blissful good self, there is one danger in yoga, and that is to be entangled in ego trips, to compete with the yogis higher than you, maybe astral yogis or angels. But yoga also sharpens your analytical talents. Yoga empowers the functioning of your intuition. Yoga strengthens your ability to do introspection. This protects you from any downfall into zigzags of slipping into ego trips. So, my dear friends, let us enter into this subject. Pratyakshan managama pramanani. There are three sources of correct understanding. And the first is direct cognition, second is inferable cognition, and the third is cognition through Vedic texts. From the words of the rishis and yogis and ancient wise men, Yogi Patanjali systematically describes the sources of healthy and correct understanding. The first source of correct understanding is direct, that which you perceive clearly through any of the five unobstructed senses. You see the sun and know that it exists. The second source of correct understanding is less direct, but equally as factual when obtained in a systematic process. You see the sun and know that it exists. Standing in front of it, you feel its warmth, but standing in the shade, the warmth is gone. Thus, you infer that the warmth comes from the sun. The third source of correct understanding is done by oneself, but through the medium of another who has known and understood the subject fully through their own direct experience. Such a person is known as authentic source of understanding, a sage, a rishi, a muni, a wise man, a swami. For example, for instance, the beginning seeker knows that samadhi is possible and by comes to understand how it is achieved, and this understanding comes from outside of himself. He may never have experienced samadhi on his own, but because the sages have experienced and they have described its benefits, its super high standard and integrated level of consciousness related to it, then understanding comes to him through association with them. Patanjali tells us that this understanding is equally valid and true as long as the information obtained from any of these three sources of correct understanding does not contradict what has been understood by those of clear perception in the past. It can be trusted and authentic. Many times what appears to be true through direct perception is not true. The magician pulls an elephant out of a hat and cuts a lady into half, and she still lives unhurt. These perceptions are false, but appear to be true through direct cognition. The magician knows how to create illusion and distract the eyes and the mind into believing this illusion. What appears true through inference can also be deceiving. Darwin observed that we resemble apes and found many skeleton structures appearing to link human beings to the ape family, so he inferred we evolved from apes. This is not true, but it is widely accepted in Western culture and taught in the public school system, there is also the common inferred and mistaken belief that the Aryans invaded India from Asia sometime between 2000 or 25,000 BC. The date of the supposed Aryan invasion keeps moving back as scientists discover earlier and earlier archaeological remnants of ancient civilizations. But they continue to adhere to their mistaken beliefs. Historians keep misinforming the public, even though it has been known for centuries among Indians alike that Aryans are none other than their own countrymen who first lived in the Himalayan region. Similarly, people are equally confused in the search for wise men. Many Westerners believe the modern day evangelists are the elite of God's messengers, while many Easterners believe that miracle performers are enlightened. This field of Praman or correct understanding is one of the 5 fields where vrittis roam. It is one of the most highly beneficial fields to keep the mind engaged in, but in order to do so, awareness is necessary. As we have seen, there are many loopholes which lead from the realm of understanding towards the realm of misunderstanding, the second playground of vrittis. In order to avoid slipping into misunderstanding, we must make sure that our present understanding does not contradict past understanding, which have been proven correct by those of clear perceptions. There are a wide variety of authentic sacred texts, 56 in number, which provide the clearest possible information. They have been prepared by established, well-known and enlightened yogis and sages in order to follow the tracks of evolution laid out by this Yoga Sutra. One must have the discerning ability to comprehend the scriptures and compare the present field of understanding with them. In this way, contradictions immediately become apparent and one cannot be led astray. Now, let us understand misunderstanding, my dear friends. It is misunderstanding is like a booking office to imprison people behind the bars of stupidity. Misunderstanding is individual step towards a trap of spider webs of Maya. He that is not aware of his ignorance will be only misled by his knowledge. That's what Richard Watley said. Okay? विपर्ययो मिथ्या ज्ञानमतद्रूपप्रतिष्ठम्. Misunderstanding is an illusory supposition about the form of a person, place or things, which does not correspond to the reality of it. In modern civilization, misunderstanding is splitting up couples and families and societies and nations and even destroying international unity. It is like a drop of the worst poison which can never be digested, my dear friends. As much as you hide or conceal it, it burns and rots everything around it, spreading a horrid stench of decomposing psychology. Men and women who give in easily to misunderstanding are the most dangerous people for families and society, because they are unwilling to work on themselves and confront existing discrepancies in their personalities to become more wholesome, more refined and happy individuals. They stick strongly to their locked-in patterns of likes and dislikes. This creates a blindness which hinders them from seeing what is best for themselves and all others surrounding them. On a large scale, they are like the citizens of Greece who convicted Socrates, the high priests, and citizens who plotted the death of Jesus, and the stone throwers of Mansur. You must keep your distance from such people unless they find Yoga Sutra, remember it, and work diligently on the formula of right understanding. So individual misunderstanding is based on coming into contact with someone or something and forming a mental image which does not correspond with its actuality. At the same time, the misunderstander is not concerned with the correctness or definiteness of his or her own mental impressions, but only with the relation between the object and the mental image formed in his or her mind. This subject is widely described in our other literatures. We refer you to this for assistance in ridding yourself of all lingering elements of misunderstanding. In the same way, the identity crisis and intellectual chaos which modern civilization is facing is based primarily on the refusal to accept the existence of superior civilizations and wisdom from past. Modern society perceives past civilizations and wisdom as rivals to its ego and has therefore skillfully complicated the world's history. There remains nothing with which to compare and enhance the depth and level of modern day elevation and integration of thought, speech and character. Because of this, modern civilization remains very shallow and is completely fixated on body gratification, sensual gratification. This is why everything seems to be rushing towards utter destruction. Its basis is in pure misconception, in misunderstanding. In order to rise above this state, a new formula is necessary. The formula to solve the omnious problem of the world disaster is simple, and that is to understand how present day civilization relates to the entire tapestry of human civilization. Okay? Error is not a fault of our knowledge, but a mistake of our judgment, giving assent to that which is not true. This is what Loki has said.